Hey, I just got a complaint that some guy is washing his dick in a man's sink. And when do you guys go deal with that? I had to kick the mad pooper out this morning again. I groaned and then picked my radio up to answer. All right, Connor, but did the mad pooper try to kiss you again this time? I said, grinning into my radio like he could see me. Screw you. She had a handful of crap ready to go. I really don't know why she hates Gap so much. We seriously need guys posting the front doors of this place at all times. All right, buddy. I'm almost at the bathroom. I'll get back to you. I walked into the men's bathroom, and sure enough, there was an older, homeless looking man with his junk in the sink. Hey, man, you gotta stop what you're doing. I can't have you washing your junk off in the sink here. My junk? The man replied, perplexed, not stopping what he was doing for even a second. Oh, you must mean my wand, he replied. I groaned. Whatever you say, pal. Just put it back in your pants, for the love of God. No kidding, dude. I'm afflicted by evil ailments. I must cleanse the dark juices off before it's too late. I had had just enough of this and walked up behind the man to detain him, but he spun around with the quickness of a gazelle, startling me. I think not, he exclaimed, jumping away from me. I am a warlock with the highest caliber. I have been protecting this realm before you were even a twinkle in your father's eye. Look, this doesn't have to be difficult. I just need you to go, and we can put this all behind us. Did you hear that? They're back. The man screamed and started to windmill his junk around in a circle and began to piss. I ran out of the bathroom, grabbed my radio to fill my coworkers in on the situation and to get some backup. There was no way in hell I was about to wrestle with a half-naked, pissing lunatic in a failing mall's bathroom alone. A few minutes later, I finally saw Connor and my coworker Jeff strolling down the hallway to the washrooms. Took your sweet time, guys. Relax. I wasn't about to face off with your boyfriend on an empty stomach, Jeff said, sucking donut frosting off his fingers. Connor sighed. Okay, guys, we gotta work together here. We're going in single file, surround this weirdo. We all agreed, and Jeff, bald, the buff, and the most intimidating of us, went in first. Hello, Mr. Wizard. Are you... Oh, god damn it. Me and Connor quickly ran in and noticed the air vent had been ripped off the wall. This asshole went down to the basement, Jeff yelled. What a pain in the arse. I guess we better go find him, Connor said, rubbing the bridge of his nose with his index finger and thumb like an annoyed dad. We made our way through the employees-only doors and down a small hallway of offices until we reached a locked set of double doors. After trying almost half of the keys on a cartoonishly large mall key ring, I heard a click and the knob turned. There was a rickety old set of wooden steps in front of us leading down to the basement. I turned on the little flashlight I kept in my security belt next to my taser and proceeded down the steps. Every board creaked and groaned underneath me, and the middle of the steps bowed, threatening to break the deeper I descended. I made it to the bottom and began looking around for a light switch when I heard a scream followed by a crash behind me. I spun around to see Jeff had fallen through the stairs, taking most of them with him. Jesus, Eric, you okay down there? I heard Connor yell from above us. I'm fine. I slipped in something, Jeff said, brushing himself off. But there is no chance we're getting back up that way. Go look for a ladder or something while we're down here looking for the little turd ball. I could see Connor nod and dart away from the door as me and Jeff explored the room. I found a small, beaded chain from the overhead light hanging from the ceiling and pulled it, illuminating the room in a warm, fluorescent glow. Unfortunately, I could now also see the room we were in was covered with thick, wet, looking black mold that consumed the walls and ceiling. That's the stuff I slipped in. It's sticking like glue, Jeff said, scraping his boot across the concrete floor. Behind me was the mall's HVAC system for ventilation, unlabeled boxes of odds and ends, a few fake Christmas trees, and a trap door that led somewhere deeper than where we already are. Well, he's not in here. Let's check that out, Jeff said, pointing at the trap door. We don't know if he's down there. We should wait for Connor. Well, he's certainly not in this room, but he came this way. Jeff gestured at a piece of ventilation that had been kicked open. Jeff wrenched the heavy-looking door open, and I was starting to feel claustrophobic just watching him descend the ladder. I really don't know about this, Jeff, I started to say. Oh, spooky hole in the ground. I'm shaking like Michael J. Fox. Come on, man. Get yourself down here, Jeff snapped at me. I followed Jeff down the ladder into some cement tunnel that seems to stretch endlessly. I cautiously walked behind Jeff, being careful not to touch the mold-covered walls. Eventually, the tunnel split into 3 different directions, then 3 more different directions. What is this? I asked. City's old. People used to use these tunnels to connect businesses together, made it easier for city repairmen to get from one place to another place fast or some stuff, Jeff replied. That's when I noticed the mold Jeff had slipped in had made his way from his boot all the way up his leg. Jeff, your leg, I started to say, but the words caught in my throat. Jeff tried brushing it off with his hands, but it clung to them and began rapidly spreading up his massive arms onto his face. What the fuck? Jeff couldn't even finish his sentence before his mouth began filling up with the black slime. He made some awful gurgling noises, and I saw the black stuff streaming out of his tear ducts as he clawed at his face before collapsing onto the ground. Jeff! Jeff! I yelled. I wanted to shake him, but I didn't want shit getting on me too. Then I heard a voice from behind me. I see you got your friend. I just about jumped out of my skin. I shined my flashlight up to see the homeless man from the bathroom walking towards me. I warned you about the sinister things, he screamed, running up to Jeff and blocking my view of him. What is this shit? What do you know? It's from hell. It's from space. It's from the 6th dimension. The man began rambling nonsense off at a machine gun's pace. I was so distracted I didn't even notice Jeff slowly getting to his feet until his huge hands clamped over the hobo's mouth. He slid his hands into the tramp's mouth, one on the bottom jaw and the other on the top, and slowly began pulling them apart. I watched the man's flesh tearing away and heard a snap as his jaw broke. Then Jeff completely ripped the top portion of the man's head off, leaving only the bottom jaw attached to his neck. Then Jeff's eyes were completely black and the mold was flowing out of his mouth and nose like a faucet. Then he slowly began to grin at me. I screamed and ran, trying to desperately retrace my steps, all while Jeff thundered behind me. Eventually, I found the ladder and climbed it back into the basement. I struggled to close the heavy steel door, but I got a surge of adrenaline as I heard footsteps climbing the metal rings of the ladder and slammed it shut behind me. I stacked some heavy boxes on top of the door, but I could still hear Jeff punching at it. I don't know when, but at some point, I got some of that mold on myself too. If I don't move, it seems to slow down the spread of it, but it's still slowly waking its way up my body. I hope Connor gets back soon. I've been yelling, but nobody even came to check. If he takes too long, I'm afraid of what might happen to him. What I might do to him.